What is going on, everyone? This is episode 9 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. Carl, what's going on today, man?
We've got a couple teams of the week here we're going to go over today. We also have the Rose Tower Tournaments Clash number 9, I think it is. Is it 9? It's 9. 9, yeah.
It is, in fact,
Which, 9. I'm kind of disappointed looking at like what the top team is, because we just talked about this team last time as the first place team. And it's still the first place team.
Is this the same team that won last week's
Rose Tower thing? Different person, same 6.
Okay.
So
I knew you said it was the same. I wasn't sure if it was last week's or if it was the last clash.
The last week's tournament, the quarantine event, had the same first place team pretty much with a different player. So we'll get to talk about that here in a little bit. But first, we're going to focus on some Sun strats, which I know you're a fan of right now.
With everything going on with Draft League, I'm a big fan of what we're doing with Sun. So this one comes from,
I believe this one is use your Jiggly Dreams on the Discord server.
Maybe.
Pretty sure that's who this one is.
Maybe. Yes, this is in fact Jiggly Dreams.
Okay.
Sent this in today. So we have Mr. Mime.
Galarian specifically.
Specifically, yeah. Because we can obtain Cantonian too, right?
Yep, we can.
So, we have Galarian Mr. Mime, we have Venusaur, G-Max Charizard, Ninetales, Proc Sun, Gastrodon, and Conkeldurr. So, there's a couple really interesting things here going on. The first thing is obviously this Mr. Mime.
I like it. I think it's cute.
It's real cool. Having access to Sunny Day to be able to power up Venusaur and Charizard, as well as having Ice Shard to be able to proc our weakness policy on Venusaur, combining that with Icy Wind for speed control and Fake Out for, fake out shenanigans. This seems really cool.
The bonus is Screen Cleaner to get around Lapras Aurora Veil stuff. Upon switch it'll remove that Aurora Veil or the screens or whatever's in front of it.
Which, granted, we don't see a lot of screens anymore. Grimmsnarl's kind of fallen out of the favor as like the premier screen setter back in the day. But I know Dragapult gets access to screens, so having support Dragapult, being able to just let's just knock that off right now.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
I'd be interested in knowing how fast Timid 252 puts us.
Well, the cool part is there's a great place called Showdown that gives us all that information. Just make sure. Galarian Mr. Mime's base speed is 100, so this is going to be fast.
Man, that's going to be real fast.
Mm-hmm. 167.
I mean, that is real fast.
That is fast. It's not as good as like Prankster Sunny Day, but you're still pretty goddamn fast.
What's our bulk? What is that once we have Eviolite?
Eviolite plus your defense. We're at 252 defense. We have 110 special defense. So those are both 1.5 times.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 1.
That brings us to 165 special.
And then 117 for defense means
176.
So yeah, real good ED.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's real bulky in all actuality.
I think the other 4 were in HP. Yeah.
Which, I mean, our HP is awful. Yeah.
126 is better than 125. That one might matter.
You are correct. It technically is better. Oh, Screen Cleaner's not even in ability.
No, Ice Body is.
I didn't know it had Ice Body either.
Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this Mr. Mime. It's cute.
I know Quentin has Mr. Rhyme in Draft League, right?
Yep.
I know he's just been like, what do I do with this thing?
Well, the question
And everyone's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem, is you drafted the wrong one. You needed to get Mr. Mime Galarian instead of...
I'm assuming is Mr. Mime faster than Mr. Rhyme?
Oh, 100%.
I was going to say, I'd be very surprised if it's not.
I believe Mr. Rhyme is 90. No, Mr. Rhyme is 70.
Wow, that is way slower.
Yeah. but gains the ability to Tangle Feet for those that care. Exactly. But Mr. Galarian Mr. Mime is actually really cool. I like that a lot. I didn't know it gets Sunny Day, and that's actually really cool.
I actually played against something similar to this on ladder the other day, and I'm doing my son shenanigans for Draft League, just playing a couple games with it, and they send out Mr. Mime, and I'm just like, I don't really care about this at all. So of course I got to set up with Leafeon and just Iron Tailed it, and it just died. I'm just like, all right, go away. You don't matter. That granted, that was like the only match I won that day, but
results based.
Results based thinking is not a way to do it. So what else do we have here? Pretty standard Sun team with Venusaur, Charizard, and Ninetales. I specifically like Ninetales way more than Torkoal right now. Torkoal is just kind of falling off the face of the earth.
Trick Room is becoming more prominent, so people are having ways to get around Trick Room or deal with Trick Room, so having Pokemon that just like, you have Conkeldurr on this team and Gastrodon on this team to deal with Trick Room if it does get set up, but you don't have to like be your own Trick Room team because you have Venusaur.
But, also on that same line of like, Gastrodon fits this theme very well because inherently having two Firemons, you're weaker to water, so having Storm Drain is just like, alright, cool. Just clean this up nice and cleanly, make it where nothing is actually going on.
One thing I'm questioning is this Conkeldurr. Ice Punch over Thunder Punch when we're weak to water like we are. Having Thunder Punch on Conkeldurr to deal with bulky water Pokemon just in case Gastrodon is taken out by another like grass type move or something like that. It would be nice extra coverage.
I do like Vest. I like Vet's Conkeldurr a lot. I know before we started recording, you played against a Conkeldurr that was mono fighting with Protect. It's just like, alright, well, you can't actually touch my Dragapult or my Mimikyu, so cool.
Yeah. If we're going to do Assault Vest, you could do Assault Vest Iron Fist. That means Drain Punch, Mach Punch, and your Ice or Thunder Punch does a little bit more damage, which that's kind of what I'm at, because like if you have Will-O-Wisp on your Ninetales, but you have to take a turn off from Ninetales doing something to Will-O-Wisp your Conkeldurr, whereas in the face of like just having Flame Orb, it automatically crocs the instep and doesn't waste an attack or waste a Protect or like a Fake Tears or something like that.
Do we need Poison Jab if we have Ice Punch?
The only fairy type that we'd really worry about is Primarina, which if we ran Thunder Punch, we ain't got to worry about Primarina.
Yeah, so if we got Poison Jab for Thunder Punch and then change to Iron Fist, then all four of our moves get triggered by Iron Fist too.
Get the boost, yep.
Which, without being max attack, that boost to Iron Fist could actually be moderately important.
It's actually super relevant there, yeah.
And like I understand, like Guts gets around being burnt, but I feel like in this specific instance, I could see being Iron Fist and it just being fine.
Beyond that, Charizard's carrying a Lumberry, Ninetales is carrying a Citrus Berry.
Lumberry, that's one we don't see a lot of. I'm actually surprised. With how much status conditions actually matter right now, I'm really surprised we don't see more Lumberry.
Lumberry's starting to pick up again. Random Pokemon get it once in a while when they don't have an item. I was going to say Focus Sash on the Ninetales is probably better than the Citrus Berry, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I want Sash on Ninetales. Specifically, one, because we don't have it on anyone else. And two, is going to let us get off a Fake Tears or a Will-O-Wisp or whatever we need to once. And that's hopefully all we need Ninetales to do.
Agreed.
Specifically because we have basically no bulk in this thing, being able to get something off once or if not twice, because we are so fast, can actually just change the game time dramatically.
Oh yeah.
It does. I think you touched on it having Fake Tears as well, which is something I ran into I think this morning, and they just said, Charizard Ninetales and just Fake Tears you and then just punch you. It's like, oh, Yeah, we're dead.
Yeah. Wildfire's pretty good when your opponent's -2 special defense.
I'm like, all right, cool. We're gonna set up, and we can't because we're dead.
Yep. So this team's pretty cool. Just some minor things just like to think about, like item wise. You're not using Focus Sash. Put it on your Ninetales. Notably, we're not using Life Orb either.
Which I could see Life Orb going on Charizard. That's pretty
if you're
typical.
Worried about it, yeah.
I also don't know, like, having Life Orb Solar Power, that's a lot of damage we're doing to ourselves. But at the same time, we're dealing a ton.
It'd make sure your G-Max moves can OHKO most of the time. But
especially with
Fake Tears.
Yeah, with Fake Tears, you're just going to obliterate anything you need to.
I'm actually kind of not a fan of the Charizard on this team just in general because Colossal's running around and has just, like, bonus into... You can't really interact with the priority if they're using Aqua Jet, or you're not really faster than the Dragapult using Surf, and you also just set up Sun for them.
So now their Colossal is going to be damaging you even more, while also weakening that water attack going into it. So it's just going to make it have that much more health going at you, while also being faster than you.
Yeah.
Which is where that could be critically important to have Focus Sash. So you can just be like, all right, either go to sleep with Hypnosis, which we don't have here, or, Will-O-Wisp you if you're physical, which that doesn't work because you're fire.
Yeah. But it will prevent, like, a sleep or something if that comes up to it, because you do not get the benefit of Lightning Terrain because you are a flying type. That's what sucks. Yeah. So that's why we have the Lumberries, because we don't benefit from Lightning Terrain set up by some people. Specifically Laprastines.
Do we have any electric coverage on this at all?
No.
Do we actually need it?
Not really. No. Electric's going to be, like, it hits flying and water, which we have Ice Punch and Venusaur for.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we change the Conkeldurr, we'll have Thunder Punch. So
we're dropping Poison Gem. Yeah, we have Thunder Punch for that, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're not really worried about setting Electric Terrain with Thunder Punch. This Charizard, I could see dropping the Charizard for, like, a Follow Me, like a Togekiss or something like that nature.
I can see it. Togekiss, like, just having Ninetales Venusaur could be fine. It also makes you less weak to water and rock. Charizard, of course, is immune to ground, so we don't have to worry about that. But
so yeah, which we're still kind of weak to ground anyway with Ninetales and Venusaur. Both taking super effective damage there. Oh, not Venusaur, but
yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think Venusaur did anymore. I mean, granted, man, you play way more than I do, so I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. You know what you're talking about, obviously.
After last week, I'm gonna make sure.
What was it that got brought up? They're just like, hey, this isn't actually how that works.
It's the
it was Friend Guard.
Friend Guard plus there was the Venusaur does not take full ground type damage. It's just neutral.
Okay, that's what I thought, but again, I don't know what I'm doing. That's why I have a Charmeleon on my team, but
I wouldn't mind swapping Charizard for like a Togekiss with Follow Me, and you can still carry the Heat Wave on Togekiss if you need it. You also get access to Dazzling Gleam to help punish other opposing Conkeldurrs, which we kind of really don't deal with outside of Venusaur very well with.
Or even Charizard, like, you have Air Slash, but, like, if you're cutting that, then you need another way to be able to deal with them. So having Gleam or Air Slash on Togekiss also just seems fine.
Also, then we don't feel forced into Gigantamaxing Charizard every game.
True. And it just opens up the avenue of, well, we can Gigantamax Venusaur, we can save it late game and be able to do something with Gastrodon if we really need to. Probably not doing so much here. Like, I mean, we have Earth Power and Scald, so, like, we can effectively do some damage, but even just going big with Conkeldurr late game is just good.
I'm surprised we're not Eon on Gastrodon there.
Oh, interesting.
Stockpile, Recover, Earth Power, and Scald.
I actually didn't know Gastrodon got Yawn.
Yeah, it's an egg move.
Of course it is, man. Egg moves are weird.
Alright, so I run Yawn on my Gastrodon on my Colossal team, and it helps out a ton, because you can just Yawn, Protect, and then they're asleep, and then you just get to do whatever nonsense you need to do. Here you just set up Stockpile a couple times, which that's cute, But like I feel like you take one energy ball or one solar beam wrong, you're down for the count. Even
you're
with
melted,
the Rindo berry.
Yeah. I know Rindo obviously is going to half that damage, but you're still taking double damage off of it.
That's still a chunk.
Yeah, you're still getting beat up pretty hard by that. So I think the Rindo berry is probably necessary.
100% necessary, almost.
Especially
if you're not running protect.
You could. I was gonna say you could drop stockpile for it, but like stockpile also gives you extra bulk. Like, well, you could drop recover, but like if you're dropping recover, then you want leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I like recover more. So
it depends on what you want to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be it for this team, I think. Anything else you want to talk about on this guy?
Not really. I got a whole lot of nothing. I really do like this Mr. Mime. I'm interested in actually seeing how well this plays out. Because having the speed control with Icy Wind, being able to set up Sun so you have another way of getting it other than exactly Ninetales. And if you do add Togekiss, you could always run Heat Wave and be able to max Flare and set it up that way as well. I believe Togekiss can outspeed Venusaur without Sun up.
Yes.
So
I'm going to say the answer is yes, probably.
So you could set up Sun and then Venusaur can go and smash them.
Venusaur's base speed after 252 is 132. You could set up your Togekiss to where you can probably tie it. Let's see here. Yeah, you can set it up to where you can tie it, but if you run Timid...
If you run Timid, you don't have to be fully invested into it?
No.
Interesting. Okay. So that's, again, just something you could actually look into and just being a little bulkier and... Well, I mean, a little more diverse with your team, too, so...
So you can be a little bit less bulky and a little bit more just machine gunny.
Yeah.
And you can still play the Lumberry on your Togekiss if you wanted to.
Or, I mean, again, you can build Togekiss 100 different ways, it seems like, anymore.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Berry, you can have weakness policy on it, but, I mean, obviously not here where we want it on Venusaur, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 100 different ways you can build Togekiss, and that's why it's the most played Mon right now, so...
Yep.
It just seems like, alright, what can we cut to add Togekiss to this team?
Speaking of teams without Togekiss.
Alright, here is one this is from Navier?
I believe so. Navier Strokes from the Discord server.
I'm double checking myself. Last thing I want to do is give someone the wrong credit. Yep, it's Navier.
He posted 2 versions of this. The first one was an Indeedee version. Oh, no, the first one was originally a Whimsicott version. The second one has Indeedee on it. And then the third one, the one we're going to talk about, has what I feel like is a little bit better. It has Wheezing. Galarian Wheezing on it. So,
Navier posted this on Discord, and people started talking about it and be like, alright, what if we change this and, make this a little less all-in of a meme and actually make it, like, playable. So... We have Misty Seed Scrafty already, just off to a fantastic start of obviously we know what we're doing.
Yep.
Life Orb Oranguru. Do I have your attention yet?
Yep.
Assault Vest Torkoal, Focus Sash Excadrill, Expert Belt on Venusaur, and rounding out the team we have an Eject Button, Galarian, and Wheezing. So the plan here is we lead Wheezing and Scrafty?
No, Wheezing and Oranguru.
Oh, okay. So the way Symbiosis works is when Scrafty comes in, its seed is going to get used. Symbiosis is going to pass over the Life Orb to it. And so now we have a +1 special defense Scrafty with a Life Orb being able to go ham.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, now we're on the same page.
There we go.
We got this figured out, I think.
We're all on the same page now. So the cool part is Scrafty is actually very strong, and actually does well under Trick Room. This one specifically is running Throat Chop, Drain Punch, Bulk Up, and Iron Head. So once Misty Seed goes off and we throw out Scrafty and get the Life Orb on it, we're dealing a ton of damage with the Scrafty for sure.
So with Orangaroo, if we need the extra, like if we need to go even bigger, we have Instruct for bulk up.
Mm-hmm.
So just double set up bulk up, get your sword stance plus your iron defense going.
Yep.
All in one turn. Trick Room to be able to fully abuse Scrafty for being hella slow. Light Screen for a little extra protection, and Psychic just to have an actual damaging move.
Yep.
I don't know. Orangaroo is always one I've been really interested in, and it was actually played. I don't want to say a ton back in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but you did things with it and Torkoal because it had Trick Room and also had Instruct, so you just got to fire off huge eruptions twice a turn.
Yeah.
So it's just like, hey, and we're kind of paying tribute to that here with this Eruption Torkoal. Pretty sure someone just died in your kitchen. So we have this Assault Vest Torkoal, which I know you are not a fan of.
Assault Vest stats, you want high enough special defense to where you actually get to do something. And with the way they've done their spread, I believe we get to 137. If I did the math right.
I think that's the number you said.
Let's see here. So we go get Torkoal. If I can find Torkoal. And we are 4 points in special defense. We are base 70 special defense is not a good start.
That is not a good starting point.
So 91 times the 1.5 puts us at 136.5 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 136 isn't very high when you see Pokemon like Mr. Mime, who was the 110 rounded up to almost 170.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like, I know my War Turtle build I'm running on Draft League is about 198.
Yeah, we were looking at that and just like, good lord, man, this thing is taking hits for days.
So it's like, instead of running the Assault Vest and getting like almost no benefit from it, except because you're going to die to probably any hard ground type or water type move into you anyway. Most ground type moves are physical.
Mm-hmm.
Most water moves are special, but you're not getting enough of a boost really to
I could see moving this expert belt onto Torkoal. Cutting,
or just like running Charcoal or running.
Yeah, I mean we do have double fire attack with Heat Wave and Eruption. I could also see just like cutting one of the two and just playing Protect as well, and just like being less all in on attacking and a little more, on being on sustainability.
So the Torkoal sets usually are Heat Wave, Solar Beam, Eruption, and Protect. We run Heat Wave because Eruption is only good for as long as our health is high. So even if we use Protect and stall out for late game and our health is low, Eruption's not going to really do anything.
Correct.
Hence why we have the Stab Heat Wave to try and do some spread damage still that way.
That's where Charcoal comes in. It's just like, hey, this is still a late game attack. Like we actually deal a decent amount of damage here.
Yeah. So swapping Assault Vest, dropping Earth Power to pick up Protect there, and putting Charcoal on it is probably what would make it a little bit better in my opinion. But Assault Vest, I'm not sure like what the calcs are for what like, do you survive a Max Geyser in Sun with Assault Vest? You probably do that anyway with just Sun.
It also depends on who it's coming from and everything else, and like having exactly, well, we're max HP, and then our extra 4 is into special defense. So I mean, we have a decent health pool then. Oh, you closed Beakolytics.
Yeah. Closed Showdown. Thank you very much.
That one. That's what I said.
Let's just do this thing then. Let's see here. So, like we said, 91 special defense before Assault Vest puts us at 137 after. The biggest one that is the biggest, scariest water type right now is Lapras, probably.
I would agree with that.
Being just super duper scary. Let's see here. And if we do that, let's say it's, because weakness policies are starting to gain up here, let's just assume it's a weakness policy. I've seen Raichu Volt switches into your own Lapras to trigger your own weakness policy.
That's adorable.
It is super freaking adorable. So.
Oh yeah, there is a 0%.
Well, we're not level 50 yet.
Oh, okay.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
But that's a lot of damage still.
Okay, now what if we take the vest off?
If we take the vest off, we're still probably dead. Yeah.
Okay.
We're super dead.
So vest does let us live.
Vest lets you barely live. Like the upper range is you're at about
94% is not dead.
Yeah.
It means our eruption's doing like -3 damage.
Yeah.
But
Your whole point of you trying to be as healthy as possible is gone.
mm-hmm.
But then also rain gets set up.
It's gonna make things a little harder for you too.
Like you have to set up sun again after that.
Yeah. So I don't know just how, like, I mean,
Will solar beam actually deal with Lapras? I don't think so. Yeah, no, it won't.
oh, that's sad.
That's sad.
That's a disappointing damage.
Yep.
23%.
Oof.
Granted, that's Dynamax.
That's the Dynamax.
But
it's
still
just doubles. So you're not even dealing half. You're not even dealing 50%.
That's rough, man. That's real rough.
Yeah, that sucks.
Now you see why I'm off Torkoal right now.
And it comes back to that exactly. Like, yeah, so it's just like Torkoal works in this team because we're already running Trick Room.
Yeah.
But if like we're not using Trick Room as our actual like kind of advantage, we probably want to be Ninetales here, right?
Yeah.
Because we have
we have our go fast mode of Venusaur, Excadrill plus Sunsetter.
Yeah.
So having access to that is really important. Interesting note, and correct me if I'm wrong. Oh no, this is Misty Surge, not neutralizing gas.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm like, chlorophyll's getting shut off by our own wheezing, but I am not smart and can't read.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, so speaking of Excadrill, this is a Mold Breaker Focus Sash drill.
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard at this point.
Yeah, like this is max attack, max speed, 4 HP, Jolly, just Rock Slide, high horsepower, Iron Head, Protect, pretty standard Excadrill. Everyone's seen it running around before. I know Weakness Policy Excadrill was getting popular for a while, and it was super kind of bulky and it was kind of cute, but I feel like people are starting to kind of migrate back to just the Focus Sash, Life Orb builds. This Venusaur is Expert Belt with Sleep Powder, and I'm not a fan of that.
I just want wide lens, man. I want to put things to sleep.
Yeah, just like wide lens is a little bit better. You're already hitting like a truck anyway. Your special attack is super duper high.
Oh, for sure.
Expert Belt only triggers on super effective hits, so you're already getting the bonus anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just like Expert Belt isn't worth it. Run Life Orb if you're going to run a damage item.
For sure.
Because we're not. Oh, Life Orb's on an Orangu, so.
Which means we have no way of ever getting this Life Orb on Venusaur.
Someone knock off my Venusaur.
No. We run policy on it.
There you go. Hit it with our own lava plume.
Big brain.
We could also just... no, we can't flip. I don't think flip works that way. But the other... Like, the rest of the set is pretty standard Venusaur. Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball, which Energy Ball can be interchanged for Solar Beam, can be interchanged for Leaf Storm, Grass Pledge... You really
depending on what you are doing, it is just, pick a grass damaging move.
That's at least 80 power or greater.
Yep. Something that's going to hit like a truck.
And then we have the Scalarian Weezing with Eject Button and Misty Surge. Pretty bulky, 252 HP, 252 special defense means we are definitely in the bulk zone.
Oh, for sure.
Bold nature to boost our defense and lower our attack a little bit. We've got Memento to just, when we're out of HP, we can just say, nope.
Like, now we're done here.
You can't do anything now. And then we also have Strange Steam, Sludge Bomb, and Haze.
Haze is really sweet.
Right? With all these weakness policies running around?
There's a lot of policies. There's a lot of setup running around.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what if we stop?
What if you didn't get to do that? Oh, that'd be great. That's part of why Dusclops has been the premier Trick Room setters, because it gets access to Haze.
Yep.
And you get to just go Trick Room. Oh, they proc the weakest policy on turn 1, so I'm just going to Haze and remove all that.
Like, you can knock that off. Especially with all the max steel spikes, all the max airstreams. It's just like, hey, what if we just stopped all of that?
Exactly.
Just get out of here.
Notably, it also resets Intimidate. It resets Max Wormwind or Max Phantasm.
So if you get hit by something, you'd be like, nah, I don't like
I want
this.
my defense back, or I want my buffs back.
Yeah.
I want to be back to neutral.
Especially like this thing is fairly slow, right? How slow is Wheezing? This one I don't know.
Galarian Wheezing, I believe, I'm about to say 75, but
that's not the worst.
60. That's close. Galarian Wheezing is 60. So it actually isn't much different than regular Wheezing in stat-wise, which is kind of cool. It's actually just like mirrored, so that's kind of cute. I didn't know that. Usually the Galarian forms have like somewhat different stats.
Kyle and I were talking about this last night of like what other Galarian mons we want to see. It's like, man, I really hope they give Dunsparce some type of love. It's
Right?
like it has been bad for so long, and people have wanted it to be not bad. It's like, can we please do something here?
Imagine if Wheezing had another evolution, and you could just Eviolite this thing.
And it gets a third head.
I mean, it's already got one kind of. It already has a third head. Have you not seen Wheezing?
Wait, does it?
Yeah, it kind of has one starting to form right down there.
Oh, I never considered that a head. This
It's
is
starting
like,
to form a third one though,
huh?
which is it's super cute. I actually wanted like Poison Fire because Salazzle isn't like, in my opinion, a very good Poison Fire Pokemon like style like thing.
I know when this is revealed, people are just like, why on God's green earth is this fairy and not steel? And in all actuality, I really do wish it was Poison Steel. Just like that is sweet. And then give it Levitate, so just like, it's four times weakness is just gone.
Yeah. You still are weak to Fire. You're weak to Psychic. You're weak to.
Are we weak to Psychic? Does Steel not resist Psychic anymore? It used to, right?
I know they went through and they changed some things.
I know. Steel no longer resists Dark.
Yeah, Steel's neutral. It
Okay.
takes neutral damage from Psychic.
Okay.
So we're still weak to that. We're weak to. Are we weak to fighting?
Not if we're poison.
Let's say if we're poison, I don't think we are we?
No poison resists.
Oh, that's not gonna help me at all.
Thanks, CRB.
Whatever. So it takes away the ground weakness. It would take away fighting weakness, but we'd be weak to fire. We'd be weak to psychic. That'd be pretty good, pretty strong Pokemon right there.
I could get down with that. There was one other that was like, why is this not? I can't even remember what there was. What Galarian forms did we get?
We got Galarian Mr. Mime. We got Galarian Weezing. We got.
There was one that was previewed really early on. Like I know we got Farfetch'd and Surfetch'd.
Yep. Ponyta and Rapidash.
Yeah, that one.
That's what we wanted. We wanted to be Fairy immediately, and instead we got Psychic and then Psychic Fairy, because that's what they had to do for beads for the storyline. Literally, that's literally why they did that. Have you noticed that there's a whole slew of Psychic Fairies in this game?
Yeah.
Let's just remove the dark weakness from all these Pokemon.
It's like, hey, what if these are all neutral instead? Which, I mean, that there are a lot between Rapidash and then we got Hatterene.
And then there's Gardevoir.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of just dual Psychic Fairy types that are just like overloaded in this gen. I'd have been fine if we had just got like a Fairy Pony and then like Fairy Fire and got us our Fairy Fire type that we wanted.
Oh, that would have been real sweet.
That'd be really cool.
I will take my little, Rapidash, but or My Little Ponyta. There we go. That's
My
the
Little
one.
Ponyta. But back to this team. I like it. I like it with the Weezing more than, say, the Whimsicott the first time.
For sure.
The Indeedee team was okay.
The thing I liked about the Whimsicott team is it allowed our Go Fast mode to be even better with Tailwind, but it makes Scrafty is not fast enough to really abuse Tailwind.
Yeah, so when Tailwind goes off, you get to be about middle speed tier, which is kind of meh.
it's not the worst thing, but
this is the one with Indeedee on it, the version with Indeedee, which Indeedee gives us Follow Me and Safeguard and Light Screen, which we have Light Screen on 2 people.
well, the problem is Psychic Surge is going to prevent Fake Out from working, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we don't have Fake Out on Scrafty.
No.
Okay, cool. It's like, well, that's a non-bow if I've ever seen one, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
What else is there?
Wow.
Shots fired.
When do we, man, I really want to get Rillaboom. I really want to get Hidden Ability Rillaboom.
Gotta wait for the DLC.
I know, man. I'm
2
really,
months.
I'm really excited.
2 months, probably. End of June. Oh, you ready to move on to this Rose Tower stuff?
Sure, man. What do we got?
Well, we're starting with the same team that won last week. Togekiss, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, Dragapult, Clefairy.
Okay.
They're the same thing that pretty this is just a carbon copy of the last one.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing to say about this team compared to what we said last week.
Let's see here. Second place has a little bit more of a spice kick to it. We have our Fire, Water, Grass core of Ferrothorn, Arcanine, and Milotic. And then we've got Tyranitar to change weather against sun. And then we've got 2 Trick Room setters in the form of Mimikyu and Dusclops.
And, we have decent abusers between Ferrothorn and Milotic is fairly slow. Tyranitar can be slow.
Mm-hmm.
So, this looks like hard Trick Room. And in reality, it basically is. But Mimikyu is fast enough where it can play outside of Trick Room, so it's just fine. And, most of our Mons are that middle of the road on our speed tiers, so,
if your opponent team's faster, you do the Trick Room thing. If it's not, then you just use your Trick Room to counter the Trick Room, most likely.
Yeah. We're going to stay faster than you by going fast.
Yeah.
And by fast, we mean, base, 60, 65 speed. That's just fast enough. Yeah. It outspeeds what you're trying to do.
Going into the top 4 here, we have another Arcanine team with Togekiss, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Tyranitar, Excadrill, Corviknight. This is more of a sand.
We got hard sand here. And I really have always loved Gastrodon on hard sand. It just takes away a big weakness between Excadrill and Tyranitar, and especially when we're pairing it with Arcanine as well. It's just we're so weak to water, and it's just what if we're not?
Yeah, what if we just say no?
And Togekiss is also exceptional here because it's going to be able to set up max Airstreams with Tyranitar, make it even faster, let it do its thing even better. Corviknight also gets access to Tailwind, so we can go even faster if we need to. Excadrill doesn't need a lot of support when it's going fast, so just being able to, I'm assuming this is a support Arcanine here because we have a lot of decent damage around us anyway between Togekiss, Tyranitar, Excadrill.
For sure.
So having just a little bit of support with Intimidate and Will-O-Wisp and let's see what else can we run on this thing.
We get Safeguard, you get Burn Up, you get Heat Wave, Flare Blitz for damaging moves. You get
there was something,
Extreme Speed.
I was going to say, there was something else that Arcanine used to run as support, and I can't remember what those used to look like.
Snarl.
Yeah, there we go. Snarl's a pretty decent one.
I know my Arcanine currently is Burn Up, Will-O-Wisp, Snarl, and Safeguard. Because I hate being put to sleep.
Oh, for sure.
Moving on to this other fourth place team here, we have Togekiss, Venusaur, Rotom Wash, Goodra, Bisharp, and Mimikyu. This is an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, this is our Fairy Steel Dragon core here with Mimikyu, Bisharp, and Goodra, which is kind of cool. It's a unique one you don't see very often.
Yeah, that is a real unique one. We also have Fairy with Togekiss too, so doubling up on that. But we have a lot of resistance to Steel here, so we don't really have to worry about that. And Poison moves just are super uncommon anyway, so even if they are a thing, we have Bisharp and Venusaur to be able to soak those in too.
Yep.
On its like on its surface, it seems like it's just a conglomeration of Pokemon, but when you actually like deep dive into this seems pretty coherent in all actuality.
I'll be honest, this Goodra is probably our fire type. Because it gets Flamethrower or Fire Blast. It's probably...
I know it gets Blizzard. Does it also get Ice Beam? Or Freeze Dry or anything along those lines?
Blizzard and Ice Beam, I think. But that's just because it's got the pseudo legendary tag thing.
Gotcha.
Outside of that, I'm not sure. Like, Bisharp's Theory probably gets, like, Intimidate. Like, the whole team is actually just, like, good against Intimidate because it's Venusaur, Rotom Wash, and Goodra as a special attackers, and then Bisharp runs Defiant, so Intimidate actually is just like, sorry, it's not going to do anything. Mimikyu's the only one that's just like, Intimidate kind of just like hits real hard.
Which, you know, it can also just come in and just set up Swords Dance, and like now we're +1 compared to +2, but you know, we're still boosted and be able to go over the top of people. That's one thing I've always loved about Mimikyu. It's just like you have to double into it, otherwise there's like a potential it's just going to set up and be able to deal with you however it needs to, and just go big. Yeah.
More Mimikyus as we move down into the top 8 here. Togekiss, Ferrothorn, Arcanine, Milotic, and then we have Dracozolt as our Dragon type, and then Mimikyu as a secondary Fairy type.
Man, this is a sweet Trick Room team.
Right?
Like, in all actuality, this is a really sweet Trick Room team.
Like, Dracozolt was always on that cusp of, is it fast enough to be outside Trick Room, like, if you do max speed, or do you want to run Trick Room and just, like, min speed this guy and go Brave and just hit everybody with Bolt Beak? Mm-hmm. And this is the team that wants to hit everybody with Bolt Beak at min speed. The Milotic, Ferrothorn, Arcanine core we already talked about. Togekiss does Togekiss things. Mimikyu is our Trick Room setter. Also does just real good under Trick Room by itself. You could run Room Service on this Dracozolt.
I think we just rather have Life Orb.
Like, the option is there if you want to make sure you're just slower than, like, the middle speed tier Pokemon.
We don't have a priority fairy move, do we?
No. The priority fairy move is Quick Attack from Sylveon.
Yeah. I was trying to think if there's, like, a way we could, like, proc a weakness policy on this Dracozolt.
Nothing really gets Bulldoze. Yeah. Arcanine does. Arcanine gets Bulldoze, but it's going to be faster in the Trick Room.
We have Icy Wind from Milotic.
But that's not going to be able to hit Dracozolt anyway.
Can you not target your own?
Nope.
Oh, that's weird.
It always targets opposing foes.
That's awkward.
None of these Pokemon, no Ice Shard.
No. So no policy here. So it's probably just Orb.
Yeah, Orb's what you run. It's Hustle Orb for sure.
And just go big and smash.
Yep. So if you lose your Orb off your Mimikyu, you probably are running either Lumberry or Room Service on your Mimikyu. Just to help with Trick Room stuff. Phantom Forest, Shadow Sneak, Play Rough, Trick Room. Togekiss is probably Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Follow Me, Yawn.
I don't know if we actually want Yawn when we're pairing it with Dracozolt.
We're not Dynamaxing that Dracozolt. We actually do less damage that way.
Really?
Bolt Beak is... The bonus from Bolt Beak is gone.
Oh, you're right.
So you actually just, like, hope you hit a lot of the times. You could Dynamax it, but you're not gonna take out Lapras that way. You're not gonna take out...
Nothing here gets Gravity either, so we can't, like, Hypnosis spam with...
That is incorrect. Ferrothorn gets Gravity as an egg move.
Why? Of course it does, man. You know why? Why wouldn't it?
So Gravity is on Ferrothorn most likely.
Then shows what I know. You know, I'm done. I'm out of here.
And see, there's the door right there.
Why, man?
Sixth place teams: Sylveon, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Tyranitar, Grimmsnarl.
That's one that's fallen off the face of the earth.
Yep.
I know when when we first got VGC announced, we're just like, man, how good is Grimmsnarl? It's like, man, it does a lot. And then, like, when you actually look at it, it doesn't really do everything we need it to.
If better Pokemon had own tempo, swagger things would be cool. But right now, the best thing it can do is screens and make a Mudsdale really, really big.
Does it It doesn't get fake out, right?
It does.
It does? Okay.
It does.
I couldn't remember.
You get fake out, you get thunder wave, you get taunt.
Taunt was another big one, but the problem is you were outsped by Togekiss, who could taunt you first. It's like, oh, that's awkward.
But the rest of this team still got here for damage. You got Arcanine probably here as just Intimidate. You could be Intimidate support.
I can also see, like, if it's... We're pretty lacking in damage. So I could see this actually being like a physical Arcanine just trying to mow people down.
Try to blow them up with fire damage.
Mm-hmm. Especially when we're pairing that with, like, Sylveon. It's like, Hyper Voice you, Flare Blitz something, knock it out. Just, like, massive amounts of damage.
Does Grimmsnarl get fake tears?
Yes.
You could fake tears and then, like, Gastrodon stuff, too, for extra damage. That's a thing.
Yeah, fake tears alongside Sylveon, that's a lot of damage.
Uh-huh.
As a man who has ran Hyper Beam on Sylveon, it does a lot of damage, man.
7th place team here has the core of Togekiss, Excadrill, Dragapult, and the other core of Venusaur, Rotom Wash, and Incineroar. There goes the dog.
So this is, I mean, pretty sweet. Like, it's just like the 6 most played Mons just kind of slammed all together on one team. Just like
mash them all together.
These are all playable.
Right? Yeah.
Who needs team comp when we can just play good stuff? That genuinely is what this team is too. It's just like play the best Mons you possibly can. Who needs team composition?
Exactly.
We have a counter for everything they're trying to do with something. So as long as we can deal with them, like this is one of those teams that's just like, I am a better player than you. I am going to outplay you with just the best things I can do.
Of course.
There's no gimmicks here. There's no nothing. It's just run them down.
8th place team here has got the Sun Trick Room kind of sub theme, but no actual Sun abuser besides Torkoal. And like,
well, not only are we Sun, but we also have Tyranitar, so we're Sand.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just,
we don't have any of the Sand abusers either.
So, but we also have our fast mode with Dragapult.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on here.
I mean, it's clearly Trick Room with Hatterene and DD.
Yeah.
And then
Torkoal. And then Milotic, but then we just have Tyranitar.
And Dragapult.
Just
like, again, you can make Tyranitar slow enough where it's functional under Trick Room, but it's not the best. I actually think it's probably fairly good against opposing Tyranitars. When you make yours min speed, you're going to be faster under Trick Room. You can get in and underneath them and just clear them out before they're ever a threat. Yeah. The problem is I don't think, I could be wrong, I don't think Tyranitar gets access to fighting moves.
I think Superpower is the only one.
Interesting.
Which, if that's the case, then Superpower means we...
We're going to do a lot of damage.
Going to do a lot of damage, but we're also going to do less damage overall, over time. Superpower lowers attack and defense, whereas Close Combat, the better one, and just lowers your defenses.
Yeah, it's kind of that payoff. I'm trying to look up Superpower in the Pokédex.
Yes, ma'am. Hatterene and DD in its own right is just a really good abuser setup. It says you just get to follow me, Trick Room, and then, follow me again, and then G-Max Smite you. Which, G-Max Smite... Confusion has been coming, it's like it's not very good, but it's just a little bit more popular now because G-Max Smite just sets it on both.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of just let's do coin flips.
Like, how many flips can you win?
Exactly.
We get access, Tyranitar gets access to Brick Break. That's interesting to know.
That might be better because it helps against our screens against Lapras.
We also get Low Kick.
That one's not as good.
I'm just naming stuff here, man. Yeah, Superpower and Brick Break look like the best. If we're special, we get Focus Blast.
You mean Focus Miss?
I said what I said. My base 70 misses all the time.
Of course. Yeah, this team's cool. I like it. It's just, I wish it was one or the other and not trying to play 3 things at the same time.
So, speaking of special Tyranitars, I believe it was Poke Aim was playing on Showdown. he had a Choice Specs Tyranitar. And it was super cool, man. I'm not saying it was good, but it was definitely super cool. It's like, this thing is gonna beat you up.
Yep.
Because it gets like Dark Pulse. I don't think it gets any rock special moves.
Does it not get Ancient Power? Because there's only like Ancient Power or Power Gem.
It gets Ancient Power as an egg move.
There you go.
But yeah, we get Earth Power.
There you go. We get Ground type move, Dark type move, a Rock type move. What else do you need?
We have Fire Blast and Thunderbolt.
You 100% need Fire Blast.
Surf, Ice Beam, Blizzard, Flamethrower.
Pseudo legendary stuff.
Yeah, just everything. We get Avalanche, which I actually didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Huh.
Yeah, I like this team. I like it. I just wish it was kind of focused in on doing like one or the other instead of all three.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense? Just focus down to two, and you might be able to make it into that top 4 instead of being outside of the top 8. Moving into the top 12 and top 16, I'm going to run through these probably a little bit more quicker than we had been. The 9th place team is pretty much the same place as the 7th place team. It's those 3 sets of trios. It's the Dragon, Fairy, Steel, and the Fire, Water, Grass with pretty much the exact same Pokemon.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Togekiss, Venusaur, Incineroar, Rotom Wash, Excadrill, and Dragon Ball.
Just gonna outplay you, man. Don't need to be good. I mean, don't need to be lucky when we're just good.
Yep. 10th place team here, we've swapped out Venusaur for Roserade on this team. I've seen this team a couple times, and they've been playing Venusaur because they can just do, like, sleep powder things against Sun, but Roserade's faster outside of Sun. So if you're not setting up your own Sun and you're making sure you have Sand or Tyranitar, then you get to do Roserade sleep faster than Venusaur. Now, granted, you're not going to put opposing Venusaurs to sleep, but it's just like you get to sleep your opponent's other Pokemon, and Venusaur kind of just looks at, and you kind of just look at each other back and forth all the time. The other cool thing is this team's running the Durant just beat 'em up plan.
Yep, just run them down.
Which, instead of having Fake Out, you have Sleep Powder. You have Fast Sleep. So, like, if they're not Sun...
I mean, it's pretty close to Fake Out. Except it's Fake Out that could take 1 turn. It could take 4, you know?
Yeah.
It neutralizes a threat as long as you need to for Durant to kill it.
Exactly.
Roserade is kind of filling a similar role to what Sableye would be here, which is like dealing with a threat before it becomes a problem.
You get to instead of quashing people, you're just putting people to sleep.
Just like, stop it.
You also get to do the Togekiss lead, where you get to do the Follow Me just in case your opponent is faster than your Roserade, which there's a couple Pokemon that are. I think Charizard specifically is a scary one.
Yeah, Charizard's real scary, man, but I mean, I know we haven't talked about a lot of Charizard. It looks like there's only 2 in this top 16.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Charizard's real fast.
Charizard's fast. Yeah, Charizard's fast. It hits hard. It's seeing less play because Colossal and Lapras and everything around it's kind of just like it's weak to, but it is still a decent Pokemon. Like we were talking about with the Sun Team earlier, it's just it eats so much damage from everything else because it has no actual bulk built into it.
You know what's faster than Charizard?
Jolly Durant.
I was gonna say Dragon Dane's Charmeleon. I have done calcs. Charmeleon is my perfect Charizard counter. Rock Slide gonna get them. They never expect it. And they can't hit me back. What are they gonna do? Air slash me? Because that does a lot. Please don't.
Speaking of Charizard is in this next team here. At 11th place, we have Mimikyu, Charizard, Rotom Wash, Conkeldurr, Drampa
and Clefairy together. This is some sweetness. Like, I can get about what's going on here.
So what's really cool is Drampa's actually decent under Trick Room, and you get Cloud 9 to turn off opposing weather.
Just be like, stop it.
You get to turn off Sandstream, you get to turn off rain, sun, whatever. Turn it off, make it go away. And it pairs well with Clefairy because it's kind of bulky, but then Friend Guard means it's taking less damage overall. Trick Room is set up by Mimikyu, and then you can just go into this Drampa. Also noted that like any ghost type attack into Mimikyu, Drampa just gets to eat it because it's immune.
Yep.
It's really cool being a normal dragon type.
It's really interesting. I've kind of always had a soft spot for Grandpa Drampa here, but it's just always been on the cusp of not good enough. I know, speaking of Cloud9, A-Drive was doing his Storm Silver playthrough, and he had an Altaria. And just multiple times he's just like, man, why isn't Hail working? Why aren't they taking damage from Sandstorm here? It's just like, dude, it has Cloud9. Just, please. And the comments are just blowing up.
Oh,
just,
of course.
Just like, come on, man, please.
That's the best thing is, like, when you do something stupid, you get more comments than if you call something right.
So what you're saying...
That's what happened this last week. This last week I got things wrong, and I've had more people comment on the video and on about the podcast this week than I had ever before.
So what can I blatantly say wrong about this team?
We got 5 more teams to get through. We'll find something. But yeah, Conkeldurr, Drampa, Clefairy, Mimikyu make a good Trick Room team. Charizard, Rotom Wash, and then carrying Clefairy, Conkeldurr is also just a good 4-man squad.
Mimikyu is just really good on this team, if you want my honest opinion.
I like Mimikyu a lot.
It goes on the fast side. When you need to go fast, it's playable because I think we talked about this last week where Wolf Glick is just always anytime he's played Mimikyu, it's always just been max speed with Trick Room.
Yep.
Just get him, just absolutely run him down. So when you want to do Trick Room things, you can, and you're slow enough that it's fine. But outside of Trick Room, you're fast enough where you can just run people over with it.
I'm currently running fast, max attack, max speed, Swords Dance Mimikyu on the Triple Ghost squad.
Love it.
And
wouldn't change a thing.
It just runs people over because everyone's expecting to be slow. This thing's got base 96 speed.
Yeah, that's real fast.
It's actually really fast for a Trick Room user, and everyone just expects the Trick Room, and nope, I'm going to Swords Dance, and I'm going to hit you.
We're going fast. All right, cool, I took your first hit, you didn't double into me, you're dead.
Yep. Next team is another Mimikyu team. Mimikyu's been very popular this time around. I think that's number 5 so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's number 5 so far. We've got 2 more Mimikyu teams after this.
Man, lots of Mimikyus.
Mimikyu's getting popular.
Love it. I love seeing Mimikyu, man.
So this team is Mimikyu, Arcanine, Lapras, Tyranitar, Conkeldurr, and Dusclops.
This is our only Lapras in top 16?
This is the only Lapras in top 16.
Man, talk about something that's just fallen off the face of the earth. It's so weird
because there'll be a week where you have 4 or 5 of them, and then there's the next week that's got 1 to none.
Yeah.
Venusaur wasn't in any of the teams last week, was it?
I don't think so.
And we've seen 3 or 4 already.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, and then there's 2 more at the end there.
It's it just shows you that yeah, there's an evolving meta and things are constantly changing, but at the same time you just need to get lucky.
Yeah, sometimes the luck needs to go your way. I like the Lapras. It's a good water type on this team. Granted, you're weak to fighting again, but
yeah, having Tyranitar Lapras is kind of middling, but when you also have Mimikyu and Dusclops to be able to switch in and take those fighting attacks, it's just alright, cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
So having the double weakness to it is off-putting when... not off-putting when you have double immunity.
I wonder if for weakness policy Lapras, we can proc it with our Rock Punch from Conkeldurr.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I know I have some sneaky things for weakness policy on my draft team. I'm super excited to play with them. Weird little weakness policy tricks that I just oh, this is a thing. Oh, this is a thing. Oh, this one also works. This is it's so cool to think about these things.
I haven't got to do anything crazy yet. I think my team for week 1 is set, and I know we talked about it quite a bit last week, but I've gone in and revised some things, and let me tell you, man, Leafeon's real sweet. I am really excited to play some Leafeon.
I'm excited for week 1 to start this week.
I know Tofu's been on Discord a couple different times this week, and he's just like, man, I don't know how to beat Carter. He's like, I don't know what to do. It's love it. Wouldn't change a thing.
Let's go. Moving to the top 16 here, we have another Trick Room team: Mimikyu, Dusclops, Ferrothorn, Rotom Heat, Primarina, and Dragapult. I think this is our only Primarina as well.
It is.
What do you think about Primarina running over just like instead of Milotic or something?
I think like it gives us additional fairy coverage, especially when our only fairy coverage outside of that is going to be on exactly Mimikyu. It also lets us. It gets Ice Shard, doesn't it? No, it gets Aqua Jet. Huh. Awkward. So it can't proc a weakness policy on Dragapult.
But we get Shadow Sneak on both Mimikyu and Dusclops to proc it if we need to.
Cool. So I'm assuming that's what this thing's carrying.
It could be. Yeah, it could be that. Or it could be Sash. It could be a Sash Dragapult.
Yeah, Sash is fairly common, especially when you just, again, want to go fast with it.
You want to make sure you don't lose. Like, if you lose the speed tie, you still want to be able to keep your Pokemon.
Yep. And be able to deal with theirs. So,
exactly.
And the only thing you're going to speed tie with is opposing Dragapults. So,
yep.
I know that's kind of something I text you about. I'm just like, how much speed do I need to put in Togekiss? Because, like, I don't have to worry about speed tying with other Togekiss. So, do I actually need any?
A little bit's fine.
The correct answer is I still want to go fast.
You still want some. I know, like, Pokemon like Goodra is a little bit scary in the face. It's like you can't really do anything to face a Goodra because it just sits there and you just like, I'm going to hit you with a Dazzling Gleam because the special defense is so high it actually doesn't do as much as you think it should.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just blows you back with a Thunderbolt or a Blizzard. So it's like being a little bit faster to where you can maybe speed tie a Goodra once in a while is decent. Because they normally don't put anything into speed. It's normally just all bulk. Moving on to the next one is another Rotom team that is not playing Rotom Wash. These are like two back-to-back here without Rotom Wash. Rotom Mow, Arcanine, Gastrodon makes this cute little trio here. And then Tyranitar, Dragapult, and Mimikyu.
That's two of the three Ghost Trio.
I'm going to be honest, Aegislash isn't as good. Like just by itself, but when you pair it with the other three and a Togekiss, it is just so goddamn good.
Huh. I know that's something you've tried to make work so many times is Aegislash.
I ain't trying right now.
It's doing its thing.
It's the May team. From the May IC starts, it's the team I'm picking. I'm bringing that up, and I'm gonna smash people with that.
Okay. I will be waiting for you to report in saying that you went like 47-0.
Well, there's only 45 matches.
I said what I said.
We're gonna try
two on the side.
I'm still waiting for April IC results to come in. We're almost.
I know you were talking about that earlier.
We're 2.5 weeks into this, and we still haven't gotten our results from the April IC.
You will eventually get your Great Ball Guy shirt.
That's all I want. I just want the shirt. Stupid people from Sword got it early and fucking messed everything up. So.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a little glitch. You could get it early, so you could see people that had Pokemon Sword running around with it. You want to talk about the fact that you could get Hydro Pump Drill Burr?
I told this to Kyle yesterday. He's like, what? I'm like, no, it's okay. They've already fixed it. He's like,
they fixed it.
The fact that it existed, though, is still absurd.
So the thought there was, because the way they put everything in, and they omitted a move, so everything got moved down.
Yeah.
So Rotom, or they either added or omitted one, and it got either moved up or down into Drillbur's spot, and then Rotom Wash didn't have it.
Which it was only those two that were off, right?
Yep.
So it's weird that like they delete a column up here and everything's gonna shift up, but nothing else is wrong.
So what's also weird is because it's the column going from Sword into Shield, because the Sword raids have Rotom Heat. The Shield raids have Rotom Wash.
Oh.
But it's only available in Sword, meaning what happened there is when the input moves, it overflowed back to Drillbur.
That's adorable.
Which is weird.
It's fantastic.
I wasn't able to find one. I wasn't able to get one, so I'm kind of sad. But it's just like I wanted it for like a piece of history.
Yeah, Kyle's like, man, this thing's gonna be worth so much. I'm like, not really, man. Like,
you can't use it in anything.
Yeah, like it's going to sit in home, and that's where it's going to sit forever.
But back to this team: Rotom, Mow, Arcanine, Gastrodon, Tyranitar, plus the Ghost duo there. I like the Rotom Mow as a Grass type.
Man, I was always really, really off put by it. Like I've tried it, especially with Tyranitar. I tried it as your grass coverage for sand for quite a while, and I was just never impressed with Mow. I don't know if it's because the difference between like Leaf Storm and Hydro Pump is so much different. Like
Hydro Pump is the best Rotom move because you don't get there's no downside.
It's just pure damage. Like, sure, your accuracy is lower, but like comparing that to lowering the damage on all your other attacks, it's just like
you have to Volt Switch out, and those are the ones that run Volt Switch is the Rotom Heat and the Rotom Mow, whereas Rotom Wash gets to sit there and run Thunderbolt and Nasty Plot and doesn't have to swap out.
Yep. What does Rotom Fan get? Is it Air Slash?
I don't know. It ain't worth it.
I mean, it's not good. It's super shitty.
Now Rotom Frost gets Blizzard.
Just Blizzard shenanigans.
No, man. With Alolan Ninetales, I drafted those two for that reason. I can just throw them both out there and just Blizzard people to death.
You're a monster.
Someone took my Goodra.
Look, okay, it wasn't me.
No, you took Agaslash from me instead.
Again?
Again, might we add.
So this time, you are not getting it.
You don't know that.
I know Tofu was talking, we were talking on Discord, and I asked who had something. I can't remember what it was.
I think it was Venusaur.
Yeah, it was Venusaur. He's like, please stop. He's like, just stop it. You don't need Venusaur. I'm like, I need it more than you do.
I have the other sleeper. I have Roserade. Moving on to finish off these last two teams here, we have Togekiss, Venusaur, Incineroar, Milotic this time, and then Excadrill, Dragapult. It's the same kind of setup with the 3 cores, but instead of Rotom, we're running Milotic. Milotic being able to do coil sleep things, whereas Rotom is just electric coverage.
Again, just super good, natural.
Quality of life changes. Like if you like Milotic more than Rotom Wash, that's fine. You're not as weak to say like the ground type Mold Breaker Excadrill coming in and smacking your Rotom around. And then the last team is Trick Room Sun. I feel like there's always at least one of these.
Well, there was the one earlier that tried to be, but
this one is 100% Trick Room Sun.
For sure.
Indeed, female Venusaur, Charizard, Torkoal, Rhyperior, Hatterene. You cannot get any more Trick Room Sun than those 6. This is literally what I played for the start of Series 3, except I swapped Rhyperior for Snorlax because I liked Snorlax.
Yep, and Snorlax smashes.
I have a shiny one now. I gotta go get working on it.
Is it Thick Fat?
It's from Tommy. It's a Gluttony.
Okay. I had a shiny Thick Fat. I have no idea where it went, and I want it back because now I'm breeding for one. I'm just like, I know I had this, and I cannot remember for the life of me. It's not on there.
Huh.
I have no idea what I did with it.
That's weird.
So, if I didn't trade it to you, right?
Nope. I got it.
Because Kyle doesn't have it.
I'm still looking for my level 100 Mimikyu, wherever the heck it's at.
No idea, man. I know I don't.
I went ahead and just bred another one. It's fine. But yeah, that's the top 16 for the Roast Tower Clash. Anything stand out? Anything you expected to see that you didn't?
In all actuality, no. This is pretty much just we have a couple one-ofs here, like the Drampa. Like Drampa kind of sticks out to me. Like the one Primarina also is just like, hey, I feel like Primarina and Milotic fill a lot of the same role.
Yeah.
But you have your fairy coverage on it compared to Togekiss. So, like, it's kind of whatever.
Agreed.
But again, like, Togekiss can do anything and everything. So why not just play Togekiss? Like, that's really what it comes down to is what can you do with this?
Exactly.
What role do you need filled? Because Togekiss can do it.
Same kind of situation with the Biosharp and the Goodra and it's like all these other like random one-ofs. It's like that's what's cool. That's what I've been enjoying about it. Is like any Pokemon can actually be decent if you know what role you need to fill with it and then build around that role. Goodra is a little bit scarier to play with because Dragapult's so popular, and physical Dragapult actually hits you a lot harder than special Dragapult does because of how you're built. But then Biosharp should be scared of Incineroar because Incineroar just runs up and just Flare Blitzes you, and you kind of just like, oops. But you're also good against Intimidate. And so it's just like, this is like, know your role, know what you need to do, push you up, push you down, move things around, build your sets right.
Another mon that's kind of fallen off the face of the earth that was kind of a flash in the pan there early on was Passimian. and like Passimian and like Braviary having Defiant. They both have Defiant, right?
Yep, they both have Defiant.
Neither of them are competitive.
No, they're both Defiant.
So
Competitive
having-
is Milotic, and I don't know if there's anything else that has competitive.
That's the only thing that comes to mind. But
know,
like
find
those kind of also just kind of falling off the face of the earth. So
Competitive is on Milotic, the Gothita line, Meowstic Female as a hidden ability, and Bolton,
which is not available
which
yet.
is not available yet.
Interesting.
We also get it on the Jigglypuff, Igglybuff line if we ever get those.
Huh. That's weird.
Surprised it's not available on Bolton yet.
I mean, there's a lot
Is
of
there
them.
not a raid that's like you can't
Nope.
get it?
There's a couple of them like that where it's just like it and
Could you imagine a Bolton with competitive?
you do a lot of damage, man.
You get like Crunch, Wild.
What is our
Charge.
attack versus our special attack?
Attack is 90,
Oh.
so it's either way.
Oh, interesting.
So we could do physical, or we could like do mixed.
Well, if we're doing competitive, we probably want to be special, right?
You could be like you could just do the mixed up too. Do you want Volt Discharge? Is everyone? We could do Thunderbolt instead. We get Snarl.
Interesting.
Our special pool kind of sucks.
Yeah, it runs pretty shallow pretty quickly. Like we have.
I see why no one's like freaked out about this yet.
Yeah, like I mean, we have Nuzzle. Like we have Nuzzle and Thunderwave, so like we can do either of those too.
Yeah.
What
else gets Defiant that I don't know about? Phalanx. I did not remember that Phalanx gets Defiant.
I didn't know Obstagoon did.
I knew Obstacle did. But Phalanx gets Defiant. I always think about Battle Armor, but we get Defiant too. We get the First Impression people. We can close combat somebody. We get Iron Head for fairies or Poison Jab.
Probably just throw on Protect or we get Swords Dance. Like if we want to set up on people.
No, we just no retreat. We get all of our buffs.
Just go big.
And just life orb them.
Oh yeah, no retreat's definitely better than Swords Dance. Just get that attack and that defense boost and the special defense.
Yep.
And speed. Just go way big.
Yeah, we just get to be bigger. We get life orb.
All right, Carl. Here's your project for the week. Make Phalanx good.
I'm not running that. I'm running Rock Slide. Like I need something. I probably need something to beat psychic types, but I don't care. Who actually is a psychic type like that we care about? Because all the playable psychic types are also normal. Indeedee and Orgrew are both normal psychic.
We have Hatterene, which dies to Iron Head.
Yep.
Let's see.
That's the other bonus is all the psychic types are also fairy types.
Yeah.
So Iron Head just.
Man, when are we getting Alakazam back? Just come in and just melt you.
It'd be probably this next DLC.
I'm really hoping, man. I miss Alakazam.
It'd be cool.
Like just put a choice specs on an Alakazam and just go crazy.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really, man. I got a whole lot of nothing.
How's your draft going? We touched on it a little bit.
I got basically everything done for week one. After testing a little bit, I've realized that Belly Drum is not good on Snorlax anymore.
Nope.
So now I'm going through and trying to get a different Snorlax.
You gonna do the Explode Snorlax?
I think I'm gonna choice band it.
That'd be sweet.
I also need to go through and get my my shiny dim for the promoted raids right now and get those all done because those are all super playable mons that I don't have.
You know what we should do? We should do that tomorrow. We could stream that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm free. I don't have plans for anything else. I can get it set up tonight and just roll through stuff.
So we could do that for tomorrow being Friday. We're recording this on Thursday.
Yeah, we can get members of the Discord, throw them some codes and
do a little promoted event there.
be like,
That'd be
hey,
cool.
Here's stuff.
We could host those for a while. That'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Trade them out throughout the rest of the Discord. Get everybody some shinies.
Be like, hey, I need stuff. Who has stuff? I know me and you have talked about it, and I know you're going to try to talk me out of it, but I really want to do hustle Togekiss things.
Why are we gonna hustle?
I don't know, man. Why not?
What
Expects it.
What physical attacks does Togekiss get?
Drain Punch?
I'm not a big fan of that.
It's recovery on Togekiss.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that though. Let's see here. Togekiss, come here. Let's talk about this for a minute. Togekiss base attack is 50.
Okay, so with Hustle, it actually gets fairly high. So if you go max attack,
we get to 102, and then Hustle is 1.5. So we're at
153.
153.
Yeah.
Whereas.
Hey, that is higher than Phalanx, sir.
That's without a.
Hey, to be fair, you don't have one on Togekiss either.
No. But if we do that.
Yeah, put Adamant on this thing.
What are we going to lower, though?
Adamant.
Just going to go Adamant.
Yeah. So 112, that puts us at 171? Or 173? No, 169.
Yeah. Because it should just be too higher than Phalanx.
Yeah.
So we get Drain Punch.
We get Body Slam.
Double Edge. Do we get
Extreme Speed?
Yeah, we get Extreme Speed. Do we get a physical Fairy type move? We can play her up there.
Yeah, we do.
What physical flying moves do we get?
We have
Aerial Ace?
Aerial Ace, I think, is the best. We have that.
Fly.
We have Fly.
We don't have a Protect, so we just run Fly.
So if we have this set, we can put Assault Vest on it. Yeah, there we go.
So we are that plus that. Nope.
Yeah, non-zero amount of speed.
All speed. Speed.
We want to go fast.
And then do that.
So,
do that.
not only we have
No, we just do it here.
we have Fly to have max airstream. We have extreme speed, so we get access to max strike, which lowers their speed.
Yeah.
What
other physical moves do we get?
Brick Break's not the worst.
We get Zen Headbutt.
Interesting.
We get Smart Strike.
That's actually sweet.
Steel Wing.
Smart Strike's probably better, right?
They're the same power. Just
Steel Wing.
This one has a chance of lowering defense. This one is always there.
I'm breaking stuff. Ignore me.
Yeah, you're fine. There's also Fling.
We get Wagging Tail and fling it.
Don't
we get Trick as well?
I had like this Smart Strike on here. Because that's a always hit because we're Hustle, so that's a really strong.
That's real powerful with Hustle.
You can do that. I don't hate it.
It's real weird, ain't it? No one. So, like, if I get a shiny Hustle Togekiss, this is what I'm doing with it. I'm going to find a way to play it, man.
I mean, sure.
Like, obviously, I could just ability capsule it to get Serene Grace, but why do that when I can play Hustle?
Like, Serene Grace is great if you're just like trying to be like a support.
Mm-hmm. I currently have Serene Grace with Air Slash and Heat Wave. Just be like, just spread some damage. We have Follow Me so we can set up anything we need to. May that be Charmeleon or Leafeon. Both of those have set up. We had Belly Drum on Snorlax, but probably not going to keep it.
Trust me, Follow Me Swords Dance and Follow Me Dragon Dance is
real powerful.
Real
sure,
powerful.
I may be down them on.
That's the strategy of the Ghost team is you set up, if you're not doing Togekiss Slash, you set up Dragon Dance or you set up Swords Dance and then you just sweep.
Yep. And I mean, Charmeleon's base speed, like I'm pretty sure I'm max speed, max attack. And then our 4 points is in one of the defenses. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like Eviolite means we're, I believe, bulkier than Charizard. If not, we're fairly close. If we're not bulkier, we're like right on par with it. But once we get a Dragon Dance set up, we can just smash Charizard, which is cool. And I can't imagine what people think when we go into team preview and there's a Charmeleon sitting on the other side. Like what? You know Charizard's legal, right? Like, yeah, I'm well aware.
Yeah, I know.
But
I drafted War Turtle, so it's just like.
Blastoise is already taken though, wasn't it?
I don't know, but War Turtle's better anyway.
War Turtle has way better bulk.
Yep. Elite War Turtles, mine specifically is 168 defense, 190 something.
198 special defense, which is just massive.
Huge.
Man. It's so big.
So, yeah.
Anything you want to touch on the way out?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, I think we're getting out of here this week then. As always, if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear. Want to get notifications of when we go live with what? You can always hit that bell icon to get those notifications as well. You can also follow us on Twitter at LR Lessons, myself at Cardinoble25, Carl at musical_33.
Yep.
Carl and I are both on Twitch as well. Carl is officially affiliate. Congrats,
Yay!
man.
High five.
So make sure if you like what you hear and want to support us personally, you can always subscribe to both of us on there. If you don't feel the need to, or don't have the desire to, or the capability to, just go ahead and leave us a follow. That is more than enough to show your support.
Yep.
Past that, we have hit YouTube. We hit Discord. We haven't hit Discord. That's one. Our Discord link is down in the show notes. We have 35 people in our server now, which is just phenomenal compared to where I thought. When we started this with Magic, we could not get anyone to join our Discord server.
No.
Just we would preach it week in and week out and could not get anyone. So actually having a community that we actually get to talk to on a daily basis is fantastic. Absolutely love it. So
Agreed.
if you want to have more of our content or anything else, go ahead and join the Discord. You get notifications of all kinds of stuff that's going on, not just from us, but everyone else too. So, past that, questions, comments, concerns can always be sent to our email down in the show notes as well. Basically, if you want to reach out to us, we are more than willing to let you. So,
yep.
Past that, I think we're good this week. We'll be back next week to talk about a couple different tournaments next week, this weekend. So, unfortunately, my work schedule says I'm not able to play in them. And Carl, I think you said you're going to be out of town?
Yeah. The quarantine lifts here in 3 days. Well, it's already lifted as posting of this, but it lifts a couple days from now, and we're going to go visit family that Kayla's been chomping at the bit to go see for a very long time. So, yeah. Not going to complain anything this week, but maybe next week.
So, with that being said, I think we're out of here for the week. We will be back next Monday as always. And we will see you all then. Have a good one. Peace.